Hey guys, it's me, Rochelle, your local. I'm trying to find a snazzy intro so you can get a little bit about me. I'm a married cat mom who, for her profession, is a licensed therapist. I'm still an associate, so I still gotta keep that A, and I gotta acknowledge it. So I'm not at any risk of giving out false information about who I am. I'm an Ashley certified counselor. What else do I do? I crack jokes and the queen of memes, as it were. I find things hilarious and I send it to people that make them laugh. I'm also a natural hair disaster, but that's another story for another channel maybe. And I'm also on a journey, a trek, if you will, an exploration of life to drop some weight. I haven't really given it a number. I want to drop my first 20 with you guys, just trugging along with me and keeping track and marking with me. I think overall though, a nice whopping healthy is to get down to 200 to start with. I think that's my goal, is to get to 200. My starting weight is 370. I never told you guys, 370.6. If it's gonna be precise, let's precise it. This week I am down to 364.0. So I guess that's a loss of 4.6. I guess in the past week and a half-ish, 2 weeks-ish. I'm not sure. I have to look at the date when I posted that last one. Over those past times, I had gotten sick. So I had an abscess in my throat. So I was on prednisone and antibiotics. I'm finishing out my round of antibiotics. I hate it, but I'm going to be a good child and listen to my mother, because I am a grown woman, but I listen to my mom for everything because she knows everything. So why wouldn't I? So I've got a few more days of those and I'll be done. And that'll be the 2-week mark of when I had it, whatever. So that's happened. So what I've been doing I didn't want to jump into everything and make these huge changes at once, because I've tried that. And for me, it's not sustainable. I'll try these diets, jump into it wholeheartedly, and then I'm like, can't keep up with that. So I started small. What I started first was tracking. So it's not sponsored, so I'm going to throw it out there though. I use MyFitnessPal because if it's a thing that I have, like a thing with a barcode, I can scan it. I can look at it. They've got pretty close matches for most things. We do know that most calories, they're not precise. They can be up to 20% off, from my understanding of watching other YouTubers, so it's not an exact science. But when I put in my weight for them, they suggested for me to be at a deficit of, for the day, for me to intake 1,970 something calories, which doesn't seem undoable, because when I tracked my calories the first day just to see what I weighed, I was grossly overboard. Like, did this just to track and see, because I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I don't need to cheat myself. I need to be completely honest with weights, measurements, and all that. I think for me, I'm going to use a backup of writing it down, because that's helpful for me. So I'm going to do both. So far I am down. What I've done is just modified my portions. So I'm not grossly changed much. And I've added a little more activity. So I work at a day treatment. Some of you guys might not know what that is, but I work and I do counsel for kids who have had behavioral issues or struggle with mental health issues in the school setting, so that they can become well adjusted enough to go back into regular school. So what I've done with that is I just go to recess with them. So how many times can you say you go to recess with your therapist? I go to recess and I do their warm up that they do, and then I play whatever game they're playing. So the last time I went, I played basketball, and I was on the team. Of course, I got the second pick team. So I got the kid, they picked the back and forth, and we got I got the folks who weren't so awesome. I'm not the greatest basketball player anymore. I used to be fire, but playing revives that competitive nature to the point where I was carrying my team and we won. And we won against the good folks. I know they weren't playing the hardest, but of course, I don't like to take these L's. So, so I'm going to jump in and play. So that's been my goal. In the evenings, if this week hasn't been so active, but in the weekends or in the evenings when I get home, I like to try to do Zumba. I just use YouTube. I've been using Zumba Sulu. I think that's how you say his name. And I have enjoyed the dances. He uses all kinds of cool music. I'm a 90s kid. I like 90s pop, R&B, rap, all that. So he touches on those if you pick that one. I like Zumba music too because I used to go and do Zumba at the Y. Like, I can't say pre-pandemic. This is like way back when I had a Y membership. So it's probably been like 5 or 6 years since I did a Zumba class. Let's see. I do apologize because when I pause or I'm a thinker, you're always going to hear that. Also, I've incorporated doing more strenuous housework, more than just the regular sweep and mopping. I have been picking up things, moving things around, getting under and deep cleaning and stuff to try to make that easier. Right now, my weakness, if I'm talking about things that I struggle with the intake of, this weekend has been alcohol. I have had some sippers, and not just the recommended, like if you're trying to lose weight, maybe you could do a shot of this or a shot of that. I had them all sweet, fruity things. Yeah, those things. I enjoy them. The taste is good. And as of recently, I have been enjoying a Sonic cranberry lime slushy. And they have these little juice balls in them now. So I drank a couple of those this week. I'm not about to lie to you guys. It's a work in progress. I'm trying to determine now if I want to go for a protein goal. I'm not looking at cutting out carbs like keto. I'm not looking at stuff like that because I want something that I'm going to make sustainable forever. If I do look at cutting something out, I did think about doing alkaline vegan for a while. I'm still thinking about it, doing an alkaline diet. I know in the summertime, meat weighs me down and makes me feel so uncomfortable. And I do like the idea of eating for the place where your ancestors originated. So I like that idea, and I thought that was a pretty neat idea. I know that alkalinity doesn't change the alkalinity of your blood because we would all be screwed if it did. But I just want to try something different that I think that could last in a long time. But I'm trying to be careful the way I start because your body does a great job of detoxing itself. I understand that. But a way to get started is like the way that Dr. Sabia talks about the detox is that you can do a raw fruit and vegetable and step your way into more cooked food. And I like that progress just because I don't always like to chew. And when I did the raw fruits and stuff, when I was doing some smoothies, some raw fruit, these fruit bowls I would make, they would last me a long time and it would take me a while to eat it, which is good for me because I don't like to, but instinctually I rush. I don't know where that in my mind I have to rush or move on to the next thing. I know in school we were kind of ingrained because you have a time limit, but I can't remember having a time limit when I was a kid at home. But I know that for when I was little, if you didn't finish, you would have to sit there until you did. So I think I got in the habit of just, if I choked down the stuff I didn't like, I could just move on. So I think maybe that's where it came from. But as far as all this is concerned, I don't want to become a slave to the scale. I just want to get more active. I think upping my activity would be helpful for me right now. Just as, what is that called? Your non-active calories, where I'm not necessarily doing the workouts, but when I'm taking some more steps during the day, if that makes sense. Because I get my workout time and that counts for me, but I need to get more movement just in general. I think that would be helpful for my body. I have been following Alan Roberts, and he suggests that you look at yourself being down and maybe time it. And I did not necessarily record it or time it, but I am noticing though that just getting started, my movement of bending over to pick things up is getting more fluid, a little better that way. So that's what I'm looking at. And in that same time, I'm working on healing my relationship with food. I have really two extremes that I will be super cautious and super aware, and I can be a little restrictive, or I'm like, oh, whatever, F it, and go to the other direction. And I will snack to the extreme. So I'm trying to find a balance there, working on that, working on just small steps, small changes, and really get more hydrated, because I find myself underhydrated. And I think that's what triggers my brain was, girl, you might be hungry because you got this feeling. But I know for myself, even my brain tries to trigger it. I'm like, nah, dummy. No, dummy. It's me not being hydrated and choosing the wrong things to hydrate with. So that's the story this week. I'll check in with you guys. I'm going to learn how to edit photos and drop some things that I'm doing in with these photos. I don't know how to do it yet, but hey, I'm just starting out. So if you got any tips, leave them in the comments. Okay. Thanks for following me on my journey. Jump in anytime and follow along and jump in with me. Feel free to comment. My Instagram is RACHELLE_LEANN. And my TikTok is, I think, Rochelle Wilson 22. I don't know. I go in there.